I think at this point of time in my life, I am in the phase of exploring poetry. So when I constantly think about what poetry means to me, I've come to realize that there's no definite answer to it. I think at this point of time in my life, I am in the phase of exploring poetry because it is when I write poems, I feel I'm able to, kind of articulate my ideas, my imagination, my thought processes, and the creative energies to be formed into words. So yes, I think I'm currently exploring poetry, and I do not really have a definite answer as to what poetry means to me. So the poem that I'm going to recite today is a special one to me. I wrote the poem 2 years ago while I was traveling from Dharamsala to Shimla in a local bus. I remember, suddenly waking up in the middle of the night, and I had the time, mood, and space to actually go back into the school time memories, and that's when the poem that I'm going to recite today, titled "In My Head," was kind of like inspired from an incident that took place when I was in school, the younger me. So I think the poem that I'm going to recite basically gave voice to the voiceless girl back in school, and which is why I think it quite answers as to what poetry means to me, right? Because for me, it allows spaces for voices to give voices for the voiceless. So it is in my head that I wrote 2 years ago. Also, in my head explores the social the stereotypes against menstruation, but we'll realize that I've never mentioned the word menstruation itself, because I wanted to sort of reinforce the idea that how we are all socially conditioned to not sort of use terms like menstruation in the community. So I'm keeping it vague because I'm also a part of the social conditioning. So this is in my head for all of you. In my head, why do you do that? Disfigured polka dots on the back of my dress, ironed just yesterday, said Elizabeth, the English professor, in my head. Why do you do that, uninvited guest, venting out furious and red on the bleeding woman's dress while she hops here and there, dancing on Nightingale and the Frog in my head? Why do you do that, handful brats, mumbling into one another's ears of the bleeding woman's dress while she stood strong in blood and cramps, teaching you the sorry story of the singing bird, all in my head. So this is all in my head, now no longer in my head. Thank you so much. My name is Tenzin Chunzi. I was born and raised in Dharamsala. I studied English literature from Madras Christian College and Jawaharlal Nehru University.